Russell Simmons is being exposed by his ex-wife Kimora Lee Simmons and his daughter Aoki, and some of the things they revealed is pretty shocking.
You do not stand up and support your family. You scream and stand there on the side and throw tantrums, and you are a spoiled brat when something doesn't go your way.
He has completely changed. A lot of us feel like maybe something's wrong, like mentally, I don't know.
To find out more, stay tuned and watch this video. Hello everybody, welcome to the Empressive channel. It wasn't a good Father's Day for Russell Simmons because he is being put on blast by his children and his ex-wife. Now, for those who don't know, Russell Simmons is a hip-hop mogul. He's actually one of the co-founders of Def Jam Records, and then he met Kimora Lee Simmons in the 90s. Kimora Lee was a supermodel, and she's also the founder of Baby Phat. And Russell met Kimora when she was only a teenager. So their relationship history is very, very sketchy because he was 35 and Kimora was still in high school. Yes, you heard correctly.
I was a very young, probably too young bride. I met this person when I was in high school in St. Louis, Missouri. I was modeling. I was 16 years old. Like, I've known you and everybody knows. Again, that's documented. You can see. I believe I was maybe a sophomore. I know it was before junior prom and senior prom because I went to both of those proms alone with my friends when I was dating them. So it was definitely long before junior and senior prom. I think it was around sophomore year of high school. And again, everybody knows this in my life. You know, I was walking around, they see me. The point of it is I've known you a long time and I've seen lots of stuff and I just choose to not go there.
So it's pretty obvious that Kimora was groomed, but it's something that people have turned a blind eye to for years. But they did go on to get married and they have two daughters named Ming and Aoki. And after 11 years of marriage, they did get a divorce, but they still maintained a friendship. They still were peacefully co-parenting with each other. Kimora Lee went on to have more children and he embraced her children as well. So it seemed like everything was okay. They were a blended family, but it wasn't until a few years ago where things started to change. Now, Russell Simmons was caught up in a huge scandal where he was being accused of SA. And Rolling Stone did a timeline of the list of accusations, and there are a lot of accusers out there. But before those accusations caught up to him, he actually fled the country, and he is now living in Bali. Since he has fled the country, his businesses have been kind of going under. Allegedly, he has some money issues. So things haven't been the same, and things haven't been the same with his relationship with his family. In fact, in 2018, he filed a lawsuit against Kimora Lee and her husband, Tim Leisner, because he felt like they were stealing money from him. Now, Russell, Kimora, and her husband, Tim, had a partnership in this energy drink company called Celsius. But things took a turn for the worse because Tim got caught up in this whole embezzlement scheme and he pled guilty to bribery and money laundering charges. Russell was mad at Kimora and Tim and he felt like they were stealing money from the shares from their company to pay off Tim's legal fees and his bail fees. So that was a whole messy situation. But Kimora did come out and say that the lawsuit that he filed against her was completely fraudulent. He was accusing her of things that she did not do. And she put it out there that Russell was the one who made bad business dealings, which is why he lost a lot of money.
Some years ago, recently, this ex in question brought a lawsuit against me and my family, where he accused me of all kinds of crazy stuff like crazy stuff like embezzling, laundering, defrauding, all these things. Again, everybody that knows me knows that nothing could be like further from the truth. None of that. I didn't flee the country. I don't run. I don't have to hide from anybody. I didn't commit any atrocities that I need to answer for, here or in the next life, at the gates, wherever I'm going to get. I don't have to do that like some other people. But he was saying to the guy, like, I'm so rich. I got this and I got that and I'm this and that. None of that could be further from the truth. He has turned around. And then again, I have records and evidence of this where he's told the kids in writing, we have it, text messages, I'm broke, I this, I that, I can't, go get it from your mom. Now, meanwhile, I have been financially carrying this person probably for the last at least 10 years. But I've taken care of this person to the tune of many, many, many millions of dollars to help with their bills, their overhead, their companies that they run into the ground, their unsuccessful bids, all of their stuff. You tell the one guy doing this interview, you're so rich, you're this and that. But yet in reality, I think you're probably pretty broke.
So Kimora said Russell is broke and she has been the one financially taking care of the family. And I think it's pretty crazy. Like the stuff that she's been going through, from her husband being a scammer to her ex-husband suing her. I mean, the whole situation sounds so stressful, but things have gotten even worse because Russell is now taking the anger he has for Kimora out on his two children, Ming and Aoki. And this is why his children have issues with him now, because behind the scenes, he hasn't been treating their mother or them very kindly at all. In fact, he cut them off. He cut them off financially, and they haven't been on speaking terms for a very long time. So Russell would be on his Instagram page posting messages about his daughters, but in reality, he doesn't really have a relationship with them. Their relationship is very strained. Now, the drama got triggered even more on Father's Day. Russell and Kimora's oldest daughter, Ming, went on Instagram and wished Kimora a happy Father's Day. Russell responded and said, stop telling fathers they should have fought harder to see their children and start asking mothers why he had to fight at all. So he was kind of putting the blame on Kimora for his children turning against him. However, the reason why his relationship with his children is strained is because he did cut them off financially. And finances is actually the underlying reason why they're going through what they're going through now, because Russell is struggling. And Kimora's current husband, Tim, is struggling because he owes millions and millions of dollars from his scamming activities. I mean, the family has been going through a lot of different transitions financially, so things are hard. But on top of that, Russell has not been kind to his children and his children's mother behind the scenes. He allegedly was threatening them. In fact, Kimora Lee posted this on her IG story. This is how you maneuver with the world and women all around you. Your threats and lies and intimidation maneuvers and tactics are sad. Stop it, please. Your own flesh and blood. Enough is enough. You said Aoki and Ming would never work again and that you would ruin her and them. Really? This is how you learn if people don't mess with you, then they don't mess with you. No love lost. And for those of you who know and send your love and support, thank you. We love you. Aoki also revealed that Russell talks crazy to them behind the scenes. She even posted a video of him screaming at her at the top of his lungs. And the video is on mute, so you can't make out what he said. But Aoki said that the way he talks to her has caused her to have panic attacks, and now she wants nothing to do with him. And she exposed some of the text messages she would get from him. So in this text message, Aoki said, I'm out here praying for you and hoping everything goes well, and you call my mother a piece of S. And he responded and said, neutral my blank. I don't even appear in your media, and your mother has stolen my money and the love of my kids as she promised. She actually is. And she said, you will never see me again. I'll never speak to you until you die. Don't ever say that again. She did not steal it. You lost it. He said, she is a piece of ish. Piece of ish. And Aoki said, understand you lost it with your actions. Aoki went on to say that she thinks her father is mentally ill and he's experiencing something like dementia.
I did also want to come on here and say that I can't between a lot of people who are close to him and who have experienced how he has, just lashed out at anyone he can and completely changed the person that he is, a lot of us feel like maybe something's wrong, like mentally. I don't know. He's older. I don't know, but he has completely changed. I will come on here and talk about whatever I want because it's my life and I'm the one suffering. So, he has completely changed. The couple texts I just had, those are only the beginning. I'm gonna go through them if he's gonna. I don't want to post a ton, but if he tries to say that like it's not happening, I will. I have screen recordings. I have voice memos of things that it doesn't sound like a human being. He's like shrieking and yelling, and he sounds like possessed. So I will say, I'm not even sure if it's like to his credit, but the best explanation I have is something mental going on, because I used to be very close to my dad. He used to be a good co-parent, close with my mom, my stepdad. He was his godfather to my little brothers. We all went on vacation together every year, like very close, well after the divorce. Everyone was really happy. When he had business ventures, my mom would invest in them, like good friends. He'd come stay with us, like we'd come stay there. We'd like all the time, everyone together. And then really he suddenly just decided that like if we don't agree, it's, oh, you're all bitches like your mother, I hate you, all these fucking bitches are the same. Oh my, he's just a different person. Like he has like looked me in the eye and I've been like, I need help. I was in Greece doing the camp and I was like, you cut off my debit card. I only got like couple $100 a month as a minor. And I was like, I'm in a foreign country and my debit card won't work. I can't even add money to it. Can you help me? And he was just like, no, I sure hope that you don't die on the streets of Thessaloniki. And I was like, no, like I'm really stranded out here. I need help. And he's like, well, maybe you should ask your mother not to sue me. And I'm like, you're suing her. And he's like, well, maybe when you just decide you're gonna like be reasonable, I'll help you. And I'm like, this is unsafe. It's nighttime. What? You cut me off out of nowhere. And he did it like on purpose. He was like, oh, enjoy camp. I put like, you're good to go. I put money in your card. And then he cut it off when I landed. So I'd be stranded. My mom helped me. It was fine. Worse things have happened. I'm just saying he'll like look me in the eye and be like, well, maybe when you just decide to, like, threatening me. So I felt that was important to include, because if we do continue to get into it and some of the things that I post are going to look crazy, and I agree, they're crazy, and it would honestly make me feel better if something was severely wrong, because this is just not the father that I know or the father that I've had. You know, like, to this day, I would never let a man talk any kind of way to me because my dad was always good to me, and then he just completely changed. So I just want to include that it could be that, and I don't know his mental situation, but like he used to do kind of crazy stuff, and then say he had COVID, so we'd all call him, or if we'd say, hey, I need some space because all you do is tell me how awful I am and how I have my mom's awful shitty ass cunt genetics. So, hey, like I'm in school, and can you not harass me when I'm in school? He wasn't paying for school, by the way. Can you not harass me?
Kimora Lee Simmons also hopped online and she exposed Russell.
The fact that you would come at this point and try to attack my kids or my family is crazy. But it's funny how this particular person, if you, again, go look back, you'll see on their page that they post all these pictures like we're together, like we're friends. They've even posted pictures and then said, like, I just got off the phone with my kids. They sent me this great picture. None of that's true. I think the bottom line, like probably the breaking point for all of this was over the past many months when their dad just sort of cut them off. He was contributing a little bit of cash to their like monthly, college. One day he just kind of cut the kids off. There was no more money coming in, no more like allowance, quote unquote allowance. I think he probably did that just to double up the expenses on me, which is no problem. I stepped up, I did it. I think that was very tough for them, that their dad like kind of cut them off and cut off conversation and cut off helping them. And he's even said things to them like, why did you go to college? You shouldn't have gone to college. You wasted that money. You could have saved it. While I'm up here trying to hustle the kids over the finish line. The point of saying all this is that if you look, this person has not been to any events, did not come to graduation, no, he wasn't particularly wanted, but no one stopped you. Hasn't sent a flower or a gift or a kind word, cut the kids off when they were traveling around. Aoki was on a trip to Greece with the classics department. She didn't know that her little debit card or whatever wasn't working. That was a whole mess. You do not stand up and support your family. You scream and stand there on the side and throw tantrums, and you are a spoiled brat when something doesn't go your way. I've done everything I could, oftentimes alone. I'm just asking that you please leave us alone. I've tried to go to lawyers and get help. I've tried to show all the crazy texts I've had to block. Like, you do crazy shit, like send flowers to yourself and take a picture and post it on the gram and tell everybody I sent you flowers. Again, I have receipts of all of this. I have receipts from your office saying that you sent flowers to yourself without my permission. I have all of this. Again, you can go back right now. You want to see a couple of lies. You can go on their page. You can look at all their pictures that they say, things like, we were just together, we just talked. They post pictures of my kids from years ago, making you think that they're right there, right down the street, right now, going through all this stuff. You can look. You can gauge the date. You can see the comments. You can see they're blocked. We don't talk to them. These are all lies. They've been through so much. Don't attack my family, which is supposed to be your family too. Don't do that because you're at rock bottom. I don't know. Hypothetically, you're at rock bottom. You've hit the bottom. I don't know. You're grasping at straws. I don't know if this is a money grab. I don't really know what this is. But the bottom line is, stop popping your shit over here on this side of the fence to the moms that are doing whatever they're doing to hold it down. And I've done everything to hold it down for my 5 kids. I'm typically the one that he and others would call to have their back, right? I'm the one that they would call to solidify everything, to validate everything. If you always look, whenever they get into trouble, they always want to hop up on the live and do a half screen with me. Again, this was years ago because we don't speak now. But I'm always the one that kind of puts out the fire. I'm also the one that always runs to the defense of all my friends. He just kind of turns and manipulates the press and people and to believe, anything like gaslighting, like that didn't happen. I didn't do that to you. I didn't do those things to you. I didn't, you're imagining things. How many countless women have said this? Have been told this, I should say, or would say this to you. Myself and my 2 girls who are adults included, I'm just tired of the mind games. I'm tired of all the manipulation. I'm tired of the lies. You should be saying thank you. Usually you do say thank you to me. Usually you have said that. Like, let's ask the world where this turned. Usually I'm the best mom. Usually you're preaching all these things. That's what I'm saying. One time it's a yogi preaching all the goodness, and then it turns into like vindictive lying. And that's very much two-faced. And that is, being a hypocrite. And when things don't go your way, you kind of just start to attack people. So yeah, no, you should say thank you. Thank you that I adopted Gary Jr. Thank you that I've raised all these kids. Thank you that I've never spoken out about you and the things that you've done and the way that you are. You should thank me. Thank me that I've helped you support your business. Every single person that works in your company, I can name them by name. I have paid for them on payroll, every person that's in your house right now for years, and I have receipts to the tunes of millions. You should say thank you. Like, just kind of stop with the whole narrative that the parent who's remaining standing is bad, or that the parent who got the kids through the fire, through the thick and the thin is wrong, or that the kids who are old enough, adults, to speak up for themselves are brainwashed, or that you told the world, ask the mother why it had to be that way. You sent that, ask the mother, so the mother is responding. Yeah, I'm tired of it. Please just leave us alone. We don't talk to you. We don't deal with you. We don't see you. We're not even in close proximity to you. You know, you have fled away. We don't deal with you. You know, like they say, Andrea is saying, like, what goes on behind closed doors. I've seen some of what goes on behind closed doors, and I don't like it. I don't choose to be a part of it. That's why you can always see, where is Kimora? She's apart from the BS. Where's Kimora's kids? They're apart from the BS. Okay? Leave us, the fook, alone. That's all that we ask. Stop threatening my kids. Stop harassing us. Stop lying. Stop posting these things on your story like we're friends. Stop posting this lying narrative. Stop telling the world you're so rich when we know you not. Circumstances and things have taken a toll. Lawsuits and accusations have taken a toll. Tell the truth, okay? If you want to be a yogi, like, really live that in your heart. I used to always say, from when I was young, if you were a fraction of the dad or a fraction of the person that the world thinks you are, things would be so different at home. So children do need fathers. Children do need mothers. It takes a village, I will say that. But they don't need someone who is narcissistic, emotionally not supportive, abusive, physical, mental, emotional, financial. That's what we're talking about right now. Financial abuse you tried to inflict upon my kids. You tried by, withholding some little $300 or $500 or even maybe more allowance. That don't work. And I know you're probably looking at me now, fool, watching this, I'm sure. Like, I'm not your friend. We're not friends. Like, the stuff that you've done to our family is just too much. Like, please just go in peace. Go and serve the Lord, whatever Lord you serve. That's funny because on the one hand, you have all this yogi preaching, this yogi karmic love. I feel like that's an act. And then the real side, the real things come out, and you're like super, vindictive and mean and lying.
So that was some of what Kimora Lee said in her live video. I mean, there was a lot to digest there. It's really sad that they took this to the public, but I think the children and Kimora are at their wits' end, and Russell seems to be going out of control. I mean, the whole situation is just crazy, but I hope they could get it together somehow, some way. I did see Russell come out and react to what Kimora and Aoki said. He said something to the effect of God is testing him, and he did say he's deeply sorry for being frustrated and he loves his children more than he loves himself. It's one thing to say all of this in public, but for him to act totally different behind the scenes is very off-putting. And I think he needs to really show his children that he cares instead of putting posts up and trying to create this facade that he's just this peaceful, loving family man. We know that Russell is on the run and he's hiding away from those accusations and he's losing funds and he can't stand Kimora. And he probably is going crazy too. But that doesn't mean he has to take out his anger and frustration out on his two girls. Anyway, tell me what you all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.